Back to the channel. What is that, I hear you cry? Well, a lot of people are going to be aware of what this is because it's very individual looking. This is the Acetech Volcano 40mm grenade launcher that has a built-in tracer unit. So you can probably see here, that is a light. I'll try and show you here. That means that basically this is going to fire like 100 BBs out of it at one time. And it is going to mean that all of those BBs, if you've got tracer BBs in there, are going to light up and shoot out the end of it. I used this last night, kind of bought it, and I was like, I don't know about this thing. It's probably cool to get some content of it, shoot a video, show you guys, you know, do I think it's cool or not? I actually love this thing, or I think it's, if you're going to go and play CQB, this thing could be one of the most fun things to play with. It's not going to be great outdoors. It does have an underslung kind of rail, so you could put that underneath your AR and kind of have it like an underslung 40mm. It's obviously got this little stubby grip, which I hate, which, you know, lends itself more to that. But if you're in a CQB environment, or if you're in close quarters in an outdoor field, this thing is formidable. Like, I probably got 6 or 7 kills with it last night, and every single one of them, the person who I hit with it just went, oh, what the, you know, like I was getting that constant reaction. I just crack up laughing, because if you can imagine, and I'll show you what this thing looks like towards the end when I've showed you what I'm going to do with it, or what I did with it. I put it back to normal, but I'm going to show you how I'm running it now. It was this noise where you have this kind of smoke cloud coming out with that muzzle flash of like red, and then I had green tracer BBs in it, so 100 BBs flying in someone's face. It was just hilarious. I've actually put up a short, if you want to go and check it out on the channel. I put up a short recently, I think, of 3 of the different kills that I got, and I just cracked up laughing every time. So I really, really like it. It's polymer built. The thing actually comes with this horrible orange flash hider thing on it if you buy it in the US. I saw it before that in Asia, I think, where they were selling it originally, or on the Acetech website, and it didn't have that. And then when I saw it in the US, I was like, I don't know if that's a different model where it's got the orange thing on it and you can't get rid of it, or what's going to happen. I can categorically tell you it's just a 3D printed like muzzle device. Literally just kind of clips in the bottom of here. You can get it off fairly easily. There's no glue. It's kind of just wedged in. I just got a Dremel, cut some lines in it, and then I'm hitting the buttons, and then I just literally kind of crunched it and pulled it out. Very, very easy to do, and I think it looks a lot better like this. However, I didn't want to run it like this last night, and so I decided to do something a bit different, which hopefully you guys will think is quite cool. We'll see if that's the case. But I was like, okay, it's a weird looking thing. I have a pistol grip lying around that's actually a pretty weird one, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to mix this up and make it look very, very strange. But I actually think it turned out looking very, very cool. And you can tell me if you think that's the case, or you think that I'm gone mental, because it's not, doesn't look cool at all. But what's really cool on this, sorry, I'm just going to turn this off. What's really cool on this is it has just a regular mount, so you can run any AR, you know, real steel or gas blowback pistol grip on here. So literally it's just like the standard, you know, it has a little bolt kind of thing going through. You don't even have to have a screw here to do it. Why do I keep hitting that? I think it's actually doing it on activation. I need to play around with the settings on it. Anyway, I decided to go for this. The Die Free Co. You may have seen these around recently. Incredibly vertical pistol grip. It's got a little finger indent, and it's got this very kind of cool you know, like texturing on it, which I thought was awesome. But when I thought about it, I was like, I'm going to run this not as an underslung, because I don't use a big full-size AR. You know, I could put it on my Mark 18, but for me, I don't like bulky. I like quite, you know, like quite small, lightweight kind of replicas. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to put this on here and turn it into like a kind of like one-handed shotgun style thing. And I think this actually turned out amazing. You know, you'll see it in a second and you can tell me what you think. But when I was using it last night, I absolutely loved it. And I didn't have it as a primary. I actually ran it as a secondary. I had my MPXK and ran it as a secondary. It looks kind of ridiculous, almost like a boomerang where it's like half this end and a full end here. But what I would say is, because this grip's so vertical, I was literally just like one-arming it, and it was perfect. Like, I think if you've got that angled grip right here, you know, it probably works better for two-handing this thing, but you really don't need to. It's polymer, it's super lightweight. This is even with the shell in it. Like, I'm just kind of waving it around. I absolutely love it. So it's kind of got very simple controls. This little button here is just going to release it and swing that open. And then obviously that's the trigger. And then you have a safe and a fire right there. So, you know, it's got these Picatinny mounts on it. I didn't really think I wanted to use them. It's got mounts that you can kind of like attach onto the side in here. But when I got it, I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm going to try it out tonight. I'm going to definitely put this on here. I've got other grips. I might try them out, but I'd love to know what you guys think of that. I think it looks pretty different and awesome. It's just aggressive. Like, go and watch that short and you'll see how I use it. But the other thing I was thinking is, how am I going to mount this, or how am I going to carry it? And one thing I did do is I was like, okay, well, there's a Picatinny on the back here. I can just get a sling mount. I've got a lot of QD slings. So I'll just put one on the back. Ordered it from Amazon. Unfortunately, this got delayed, and so it didn't actually arrive in time, which was, I think, like a blessing and a curse, because it's definitely easy to do this. You know, you can literally just attach that to the back of the Picatinny. I could just have that on a sling that just kind of mounts here, pull it out when I need it. It's QD, like, release, so that's great. But what I ended up doing is, you've probably seen my videos on... Let me see if I've got an example. This. So a Q... Oh, I lost you there. I don't know if you can see me on this right now, but it's just disconnected. I'm back. QD, this is from Unobtainium Gear. It allows you to mount Molly onto one of these Safari QLS or ELSs. And so I was, you know, playing around with that, thinking like, you know, I've got these ELS attachments. And I realized, because there's screw holes on the side here, I might just kind of attach this straight on here. So I was like, okay, it's probably not going to line up. But when it did, or when it came, I was like, okay, I can make this line up. And so all I did was just grabbed this guy. Sorry, I've got construction in the background again. I grabbed this guy and I just went with a... Let's just bolt this straight onto here. And somehow... it actually fits, and it works really, really well. The one thing I would say is quite annoying is that because it clips in... I keep losing you, sorry. And I'm back again. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with this right now. It's disconnecting and reconnecting. Yeah, because this is here... it basically allows me just to put this on. So I can just clip that straight into my ELS mount. I've got a clip on this one, so I can literally put that anywhere I want on my gear, whether that was on the side, in Molly. I had different versions attached to different stuff. And I haven't actually got a screwdriver with me, which is annoying. Although I've got this, I can do this here. But it basically meant that wherever I had an ELS attachment, I could just attach this, which... may sound a bit strange, but it actually ended up working. I'm going to show you on my battle belt in a second, like how it worked. But that attached, I kind of was like, oh, let's match the color of it, FDE with this FDE stock pistol grip, and then I just have the ability just to flick it open. I've got that. I'm going to show you what this thing fires like quickly, because you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? This thing looks super dumb. So you just fill it up with gas in the end there. There's a special loader where you just put BBs straight in. You've probably seen it. Stick it in here, load it up, put it on fire, and I'm going to make sure this is on. I'm back, and I just keep getting kicked out. Okay, so this is it firing. Yeah, it's mental. Sorry if that was so loud on your viewing of this video, but that thing is absolutely awesome. But I was like, okay, this is great. I actually have a QLS mounting system from Unobtainium Gear again, and I had 2 of the Unobtainium Gear pouches. And so what I ended up doing was, instead of having a actual pistol holster for my secondary, when I was running my MPXK, I was like, what am I going to do here? Apologies, I've got my running shorts on, my short shorts. But I basically just took this, had my battle belt on like I would normally, had my drop leg holster, and oh wait, I've got the ELS based on here, so I just dropped it straight into this front one, and then I took my 2 extra grenades and I just put them here in the actual place where I normally run my pistol, which meant that I literally could just stick my hands here, pull this out, and then I can't do it, pull this out, I can fire that, and then I have the ability just to change this out. I just throw this in my dump pouch, throw that in there, stick another one in, and I'm off, good to go again. So I don't know, I might mess around with that. The annoying thing is I have to like separate it like that to do it, which is kind of like, you know, it's not fast. So what I actually thought of doing is I'm just going to like shave off the edges here so it just slips down in, has some tension, but it means that I can just draw it like it's a Kydex holster. But guys, check out my short on this because I think it's awesome. This guy is expensive at $230, and then the actual grenades are going to be $40, which for something that's a bit more of a novelty you might not like. But I would literally just take that almost as my primary, go in, shotgun someone with my 40mm, pull up my proper primary, and then use it. When I was using my Sega 12 SBS, I was like, no, I'm not going to pull that because then I've almost got 2 shotguns. It's not really that useful at range, but I love it, guys. If you have any questions about it, let me know, and I'll be doing some content with this guy for sure very soon. Speak to you all soon, and have a great day. Goodbye.